में जो आवाज आई कट है। मैं हमेशा क्विट क्विट करने से
Sorry to take so long, Gordon. Looks like you could use some help. I won't leave you again, though. Now let's track down Mossman.
अजीब तरीके से क्यों बोला इसने? I will leave you again though. मतलब फुल क्या कहें रोमांटिक तरीके से.
Remaining stabilization team members report containment status, please.
कैसा डो रहा है? मैं लीड करूं.
Flares. This section is a nice counterpoint to the previous turret segment in terms of production and cost and iteration. Built very late, it came together quickly as the AI for Alex and the Carbine Soldier was already mature. We liked the darkness and flares and filed it away as something to explore further. Later, we revisited it when planning the dark sections in Episode 1.
Ground unit. Mission failure will result in permanent off-world assignment.
Great, another security station.
Sacrifice.
All right, Mossman, where are you? Ha! Found her. Ha! Got you now. Uh-oh. Well, come on, Gordon. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Meeting Mossman. Reuniting the player and Alex with Mossman after the betrayal scene was tricky, as many players felt they should shoot Mossman on sight. We couldn't allow this, as we didn't have time to develop alternate story branches. However, we also didn't want to highlight that we were preventing this choice, so we aimed to reduce the likelihood of players trying it. The bulletproof glass here buys time for dialogue between Alex and Mossman, during which it becomes clear that Alex doesn't think shooting Mossman is the right thing to do.
Spy for the Combine the whole time.
What are you talking about?
Damn it! Move back, Mossman, we're coming in.
Alex, whatever you may think, I assure you I have worked to protect your father.
Shut up and be glad you're still some use to us. We're going to reconfigure this teleport and get the hell out of here.
You see, we're working to the same end. I've already reprogrammed the modulator to emulate a Zen relay.
That's my father's work you stole.
It's my work, too. And I had to prove to Dr. Breen that your father would be the most valuable member of any research effort going forward.
Enough of your bullshit! Look, Gordon, there's my dad. I'm going to...
Yeah.
bring him in.
You found Eli?
No thanks to you. Just enter the coordinates for Dr. Kleiner's lab and let's get moving.
But we need access to the teleport platform and we're locked out.
I'll take care of that. Let's get going.
इससे करा देना इनकी फिजियोथेरेपी हो जाएगी
Oh my god. And you've been working with this thing? For how long?
Never.
Mossman and Eli. This choreo scene required significant iteration. We wanted to deliver a plot twist in the middle of the scene while keeping player control unrestricted. It required a delicate balance to make that twist clear, yet still make sure that it was uninterruptible. If players followed Alex to the console, they needed to understand what was happening when they turned around. If they stayed back and watched Mossman, they needed to understand what was happening without feeling it was something that they should try to prevent. It required extensive tuning and playtesting to get the timing right, but ultimately, we employed a combination of distraction, delivering the crucial moment quickly, and then finally delivering an explanation after the event.
Dr. Kleiner!
Yes, Alex, where are you?
We're in Nova Prospect, and we're running the Zen emulation for the first time. Are you ready for us?
Ready, willing, and fully enabled.
Good. We'll send my dad through first. He's in position for... What's that? Hold on, gotta bring this back down. No, stop! What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Alex. It's the only
No! Get back!
What's going on,
Dad!
Alex? Jonas!
No!
What's happening?
Oh my god! What coordinates are these? Where the hell did she take him? Cover me, Gordon. I've got to reset the portal. Okay.
Go, 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 go.
These radios are scaring me. Okay, Doctor, hang on. Come on, Gordon. Get in! Hold on. My God, we made it. But where's Dr. Kleiner? Dr. Kleiner, let us out!
Alex? Gordon? My God, how did you get here? And when?
What's wrong?
My dear, I had given up hope of ever seeing you again.
I was afraid we might not make it either. I think the teleport exploded just as we were porting out.
Indeed, it did. And the repercussions were felt far and wide, but that was over a week ago.
What do you mean? Gordon and I were just there a minute ago.
Fascinating. We seem to have developed a very slow teleport. This suggests an entirely new line of investigation.
A week? Then what have we missed?
A great deal, my dear. The blow you struck at Nova Prospect was taken as a signal to begin the uprising.
But what about my father?
Well, that is what's troubling. According to the Vortigaunts, he is a prisoner at the Citadel.
We've got to get my father out.
Barney has been leading a push with that very thing in mind. And another of your friends arrived several days ago.
Dog, you made it! Good boy.
So there, you see? It's not all hopeless.
I wish I shared your optimism, Doctor.
Doc, come in. Are you there? Hey, Doc, are you there?
Yes, Barney, and I'm no longer alone. Alex and Gordon have just arrived.
Well, man, that's good news. I almost gave you guys up for lost. We're planning to set up a staging area for attacking the Citadel.
Gordon and Dog can head your way. I want to get Dr. Kleiner somewhere safer. Then I'll meet up with you.
I'll take all the help I can get. Oh, crap! Incoming! Go on, get going!
Okay, Gordon, you heard him. I'll catch up with you as soon as I get Dr. Kleiner settled.
Just a minute. I can't leave without Lamar.
Oh, no.
Where did she get to?
Go on, Gordon. I'll take care of this. Gordon, take care of yourself out there. Dr. Kleiner, there's really no time. We'll find you another head crab. There are plenty to go around.
Dog combat. Dog is a really fun character, and we were always looking for ways to include him in combat alongside the player. However, getting the right scale of combat for him, meaning the appropriate environment, new enemy AI, and potentially even new enemies, quickly fell beyond the project's scope. To create a combat scenario that did justice to Dog and could stand up against the rest of the game, it almost felt like we'd be building a new game inside of the game. We knew he couldn't just run over to a soldier and throw a punch. He'd feel less impressive, without any sense of awe. He needed bigger threats to match his scale, along with interesting ways to interact with him. In the end, we chose to create a large choreographed scene, delivering on the cinematic goals for Dog in combat without incorporating extensive gameplay design.
And about time, too.
Citizen squads. Our early tests of Combine versus Citizen street fights revealed an issue. Without boundaries, combat AI could drift significantly away from the player. Soldiers might retreat to reload and take cover, and Citizen AI would give chase. We needed a way to align the citizens' actions more closely with the player's goals, keeping them aware of where the player was heading and which enemies the player wanted to engage. This led to the creation of a Citizen Player Squad. The Citizen AI used the squad to move with the player, engaging the same enemies and providing a basic interface for the player commands. We initially had a more complex command system, but it quickly became unwieldy, so we scaled it back.
Sorry. We'll help however we can, Doc. Sorry, Doc.
Let us know where you want us, Dr. Freeman. Whatever you say.
Once we'd established the Citizen Player Squad and started building scenarios around it, we found it created other interesting opportunities. Playtesters began to care about specific squad members, so we added more to their design. Squad members would pick up better weapons if they found them, pass the player ammo when needed, and medics would heal the player if necessary. We also had to ensure the squad could keep up with the player, who often took unpredictable paths. Off-camera, the squad would cheat in various ways, regenerating health between fights, moving quickly to catch up, and even teleporting when necessary.
This corrugated metal panel was deliberately placed over the hull to encourage players to switch to the gravity gun and remove the obstruction. It's a bit of manipulation on our part because we found that training players on hopper mines worked much better if they immediately tried using the gravity gun on them, and the metal panel significantly increased the chance they'd have it ready. We placed multiple mines in the hull so players would have several opportunities to interact with them, increasing the chances they'd discover alternative ways of disposing of them. Furthermore, this is the first time we're doing training while the player has a whole squad of citizens with them, so we took advantage of that opportunity to include some dialogue lines concerning the hopper mines as well.
Ourselves on the trilobite? All the accomplishments of humanity be nothing more than a layer of broken plastic shards, thinly stretched.
Sorry, Freeman.
AI behaviors. One piece of AI technology we developed for Half-Life 2 was the behavior system. Behaviors were chunks of AI gameplay code that guided NPCs in specific situations. For example, we had a lead behavior that enabled an NPC to guide the player, and a follow behavior, allowing an NPC to follow the player or another NPC. Behaviors worked alongside the NPC's base actions, so a medic squad mate using the follow behavior to keep up with the player would still know how to fire at enemies, or dodge grenades, or offer a med kit.
Yeah, pardon me. You got it. Follow Freeman. Sorry.
Accomplishments of humanity fated to be nothing more than a layer of broken
Zombies!
and an worth of mud.
Freeman. We hoped for one more fighter to help storm that barricade. We never dreamed it would be you. Sorry, Freeman. Pardon me. Protection! Here, take this med kit.
Here, patch yourself up.
Let me get out of your way.
Assault behavior. The most complex behavior we built for Half-Life 2 was the assault behavior, which is used throughout this section of the game. It allowed level designers to set up combat scenarios with Combine soldiers and citizens, establishing battle lines between them and controlling how those battles played out based on the player's actions. NPCs involved in an assault would try to find smart firing positions and use cover based on the battle line's location. As the player advanced down a street, they might push the battle line forward, causing allied citizens to advance while enemy soldiers fell back. Alternatively, a player might need to knock over some Combine turrets or take out a soldier behind a barricade to move the battle line forward.
Take this med kit.
Shouldn't we be doing something?
Sorry.
Sorry, Doc.
Take this med kit.
Stabilization jurisdiction 8.
While I reload. Excuse me.
Here, have a med kit. Reload.
Stabilization jurisdiction size. All teams response code 3.
Here, take this med kit.
Take this med kit. Here, have a med kit. Take this med kit.
Here, take this med kit.
Oh.
Here, patch yourself up.
Pardon me.
Hey, it's Freeman. You're not leaving without me.
Cities. One of the trickier challenges in this section was figuring out how to give the player the sense of being in a sprawling city, when our performance budgets wouldn't allow us to render anything like one. This led us to focusing on tightly packed tenements, underground garages, subway tunnels, culverts, and the like. All places that are in cities, but generally prevent being able to see the horizon. We then supplemented that style of level design with vista locations, where the whole space is dedicated to providing an expansive view to the players. In those, we could devote our entire performance budget to the view, and not have to save any of it for enemy AI or combat.
That door's locked from the other side, Dr. Freeman.
You know?
Maybe you can find a way around. Looks nasty in there. Good thing you've got that suit.
Wow. More streams like this.
It's me. Open the door. See, you made it through okay. Figured you would. Dr. Freeman, I'm coming with you.
We used a lot of small tricks and built various features to give players the impression of a city at war, with much of the work aimed at providing glimpses of skirmishes or the sounds of distant fighting. Look targets help make something happen every time a player looked through a window, while tools like tracer markers allowed designers to create fake tracer fire between 2 points. Paired with audio tools, this made it seem like two groups of enemies were exchanging fire without the need to run any AI. We also developed small storylines for groups of citizens the player would glimpse multiple times while progressing through a level. All these moments were fine-tuned through playtests to ensure as many players as possible would experience them.
Oh.
Medical systems engaged.
Take this med kit. Sorry. Take this med kit. I'm hurt.
Detected.
Take this med kit.
Minor laceration detected.
Got one. Here, have a med.
in a safe spot. Now we can join up with Barney. There's a command center downstairs. I'm hoping to find information about generator locations. Ready? Let's go.
Sorry, Freeman.
Cover me! Okay, this is it. You take Well, we're in luck. There's a generator in the square outside. We're trying to disable as many as we can to loosen the Combine's grip on this sector. It'll take me a few minutes to expose the core, then I'll need you to hit it with a burst from the gravity gun. In the meantime, watch my back. Let's go.
Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with two converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled. Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with two converging battle lines, one for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled.
Shock biosignal for protection team unit Union 2.
Triangle Plaza. This plaza battle was a complex setup using the assault behavior with 2 converging battle lines, 1 for each force field. As the soldiers enter from behind the fields, their battle lines prevent them from individually rushing into the plaza. As the fight escalates and the soldiers build up, the battle lines start to move towards the center of the plaza, which will cause the soldiers to overwhelm the player if they're not repelled.
Okay, Barney should be on the far side of that canal. Well, there used to be a bridge here. Let me see if I can scout a new path. Ah, wait for me here. Hey! Looks like we might be able to get through down there. Let's head that way. Ah, no! Gordon, run! Get out of here!
No mods.
Tunnels. When developing the AI behavior for an NPC, we found it useful for the AI programmer to have a test map in which to experiment. That map would often evolve into an environment specifically designed to showcase the NPC's unique capabilities. Later, when the AI was ready for use by level designers, the test map served as a valuable point of reference. Without it, designers could accidentally build scenarios that made an otherwise interesting AI less engaging. In some cases, we were able to incorporate these test maps directly into the game. This small section, for instance, started as the tunnels used to develop the Manhax AI.
Weapon levels detected.
Box. Freeman! Barney said you were on the way. We got split up by snipers, and he's pinned down in a warehouse up ahead.
Sniper streets. These sniper-filled streets are where we developed both the enemy and the core of the experience we hoped players would have. We knew we wanted the sniper to shoot things near the player, so we first focused on finding a variety of interesting targets for them to hit. We found it worked well if we used the player's view as a factor in selecting objects. The sniper's always-on laser sight meant that players had a constant indicator of the sniper's attention, so having it drift to a target that the player was looking at felt really responsive and provided great moments of tension.
Sniper Streets 2. Bullets in Half-Life 2 don't actually follow a flight path. They arrive at their target instantly. But for the sniper, with its slow rate of fire and the player's close attention to every shot, we wanted to simulate bullet travel. This approach also worked better with laser sight, where the sight flicks off and the bullet lands shortly after, depending on the distance to the sniper. However, this change introduced a new issue. We didn't want players to just sprint down the streets to evade shots, so the sniper had to lead a moving target, predicting where the bullet should hit. Predicting the player's future position was tricky, as players can change direction much faster than would be possible in the real world. So he added extra checks to catch behaviors like players quickly tapping left and right as they ran.
Sniper Streets 3. One feature we tried in these streets was suppression fire. Many players, hunkered down at the end of the street, would fire a burst at the sniper's window to see if it had any effect. So we experimented with making the laser sight flicker off briefly, giving players a moment to relocate. But after a number of playtests, we encountered two issues. First, it disrupted the tense move and hide gameplay we aimed to create with a sniper. Sprinting while firing wasn't much different from other actions we asked of the players in City 17. The second, more subtle issue was that players who discovered suppression fire first assumed it was required and would burn through ammo fast. If they ran out halfway through, they'd often give up, thinking they'd failed. If they made it, they'd frequently be left with no ammo. On the other hand, players who completed the scenario by stealth used almost no ammo at all. This resource gap between approaches made it near impossible to balance ammo for the sections that followed, so it didn't make it into the final game.
I guess they're still up there.
Over here! Gordon, I can't move. These snipers got me pinned down. Gordon, lob a couple grenades. That'll clear them out. All right, thanks, Gordon. Now let's clear out of here. Headhunter! On! You're quite a turning hero these days, Gordon. Hey, come on! Let Let me get this gate. My civil protection status still gives me limited clearance. Did you hear that just now? Damn thing haunts me. Watch the head humpers, Gordon! There's an old building, a bank or a museum or something like that. Whatever the hell it used to be, now it's a nexus for Overwatch in City 17. It's the main source of pain for this part of town, thanks to a huge suppression device. It's raining down hell from the roof of that place. Nexus. Looks like they're mobilizing big time. You can sort of see the gate from here. I'll show you when we get to street level. We'll have to get in that building to open the gate. Even then, the suppression device will, suppress anyone coming through unless we shut it down. Then let's go!
Sorry.
पूरे गेम का सबसे hardest boss fight.
For stealth, we've been spotted! Come back here after we get it open. If we get it open. We get it open. If we get it open.
This medkit.
First, we gotta get into the Nexus. We get it open. If we get it open. We get it open. If we get it open. First, we gotta get into the Nexus building.
Instead will mark on ignorance and decay. Make no mistake.
You're not gonna hurt that thing from down here, Gordon. We'll have to shut it down from inside.
Free fall.
I'm hurt.
Your surrender now, I cannot guarantee. Even if you offered your surrender now, I cannot guarantee. Serving as you represent. Help me win back their trust, Dr. Freeman. Watch out! Help ensure that humanity's trust in you is not do what is right. Serve mankind.
Vijana.
Look out!
Even if you offered your surrender now, I cannot guarantee.
Let me get out of your way.
Help me win back your trust, Dr. Freeman. Surrender. Help ensure that humanity's trust in you is not
Take this man.
do what is right. Serve mankind.
Excuse me.
Help me win back their trust, Dr. Help ensure that humanity's trust in you is not I'm talking to you, the so-called one free Even if you offer your surrender now, I cannot guarantee that our plan will be accepted.
Uh-oh, turrets. Hey, you've got the HEV suit, you deal with them. Then I'll work the security console. Roll a grenade in there if you've got one. That ought to do it. Great, I'll open this up. Ships. They'll be coming from the roof. If we want to get through these shields, we'll have to take out the generators one at a time. If we want to get through these shields, we'll have to take out the generators one at a time. They'll be coming from the roof. If we want to get through these shields, we'll have to take out the generators one at a time.
Hey! Let us out! He's here! Let us out! We'll throw in with you.
Generators to disable. Might as well start with this one. Okay, 2 more generators to go. Wow. With that much security, there must be something good in there. Go for it, Doc. I'll wait here till you shut it down. Be careful. One generator to go.
Take this med kit. Sorry, Doc. Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman.
Set some traps for them.
Genius. Genius, Barney.
We're surrounded. I don't like the looks of this. Set some traps for them, Gordon.
Here, patch yourself up.
That's it. They're all down. That'll shut down the suppressor on the roof as well. Let's head to the roof now, Gordon. They're all down. That'll shut down the suppressor on the roof as well. Let's head for the roof now, Gordon. To the roof, Gordon. Get out of the way. This way, Gordon. Let's head for the roof now, Gordon. Follow me. Get down!
Excuse me.
There's our gate. Let me just get it open. Done.
Dr. Freeman,
I'm gonna
wait.
stay here
We'll come with
and keep these gates open long enough to make a difference. Go on up and connect the sky bridge. We need to let reinforcements come through from every possible direction. If any more citizens come through, I'll send them up to find you. See you when I see you, Gordon.
Ow!
Here, have a med kit.
Bank-roof mortar. By the time we'd built the level track up to this point, it was obvious that it'd be fun for the player to get to use the mortar. I suppose that's the type of thing that should have occurred to us earlier. Do you think anyone will want to launch the explosives into the sky and have them drop down onto the bad guys? Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, players have spent all this time on the receiving end of it, so it would have been a nice reward to get to serve the Combine some of their own medicine. But as soon as we started to think about it, we realized how much work there'd be. Which, to be fair, is a thought you have every single day when you set out to make a video game. The mortar would need animations and effects now that the player is next to it, and there'd be a fair bit of work to implement a nice escalation of enemies down in the plaza they use it on. But even more fundamentally, we had no interface for a weapon this unique. How would players aim and fire it? It's hard to feel good about spending lots of time on a single moment in the game, so we decided our efforts were better spent elsewhere and moved on. Sorry. Perhaps we'll solve the
Dr. Freeman, since you shut off the suppressor and opened the gate, we can really move people through now. The Combine's gonna feel the squeeze. We dropped a crate of rockets coming across the plaza. If you can make it there, you should have everything you need to take down these Striders.
Strider. This area in front of the bank was where we figured out the Strider. When we first saw the concept art for it, we knew we wanted to get it into the game, but there were a ton of questions about how it would practically work. We'd never moved something that size through our game world, and at that scale, it needed to be dangerous, but how would players actually fight it? As with all of our enemies, there was always a question of how we'd get gameplay out of it. What kind of tools would level designers need to build scenarios with it? These were the kinds of questions we set out to answer in our experiments in this map.
Strider 2. Iterating on the Strider here finally gave us an experience we were happy with, as players needed to dash from cover to cover, avoiding its fire while hunting for rockets. We wanted players to feel like they were diving into cover at the last second, so we tuned the Strider's stitching gunfire pattern to telegraph impending danger. We also built a system of tracks for the Strider to follow, allowing it to dynamically switch between them to pursue the player or establish line of sight. This setup enabled level designers to carefully align Strider tracks with player cover for a balanced experience. The Strider's leg positioning was driven entirely by code, and its unpredictable movements meant we often had to fine-tune things to ensure it reliably kicked the car or troop container when needed.
Perf Arena. This arena came with a major challenge: performance. Its size and the combined Strider and Citizen AI pushed our limits here. When we ported Half-Life 2 to the Xbox, this arena couldn't ship without some design adjustments. Preserving the original intent and delivering the same player experience with fewer tools and space was a tricky balance.
Strider 4. While this map was the production map built for the Strider, we still had an original development map for testing its AI. We've always found a lot of value in having a solid test map for an AI, as it allows us to quickly try out new gameplay ideas and tune them easily. If there are bugs or design issues, we can isolate and iterate on them faster. Once the AI features are working well, we transplant them into the production maps for level designers to work with. The Strider's test map included rough outlines of ruined buildings with infinite citizen spawners at various locations and heights to provide a constant stream of targets. This setup allowed us to refine the Strider's AI and stance changes to make it interesting and engaging, even to just sit back and watch it in action.
Space reuse. Returning to this space brought multiple advantages. First, the obvious one. Production costs for new areas are always high, so if we could add more gameplay to an existing area, it's a win. But for a hard fight like this one, where the player faces multiple Striders, reuse has extra benefits. Since players have been through it before, they already have a sense of the arena layout. This time they're moving back to front, but the path largely follows their original route. This familiarity is useful when players need to move forward to grab resources for the fight. City 17's war-torn state also gave us the flexibility to adjust cover and add smaller obstacles along the path, keeping the environment dynamic and surprising.
यहाँ से स्ट्राइडर बन के आएगा। Descánselo.
Freeman! It's a mess out there. This close to the Citadel, they've turned the streets over to Striders. I think we can push them back if we can just get to high ground. We're almost to the Citadel wall, Doc. I don't know how the hell we're gonna breach it, but you've made it this far. I'm sure you'll think of something. We have to get to the horse!
Take this med kit. There! Get down! Here, patch yourself up.
Take this med kit.
अब किधर जाना है मुझे?
I don't feel anything anymore. Sorry. Let me get out of your way.
वापस वहीं आ गया। नहीं आ रहा जाना।
Sorry, Doc.
याद नहीं आ कहाँ से जाना है मुझे याद ही बिल करना पड़ेगा गेम पहले खेला है फिर भी यार
Pardon me.
Crashing through the plaza, knocking over walls, and I think he's looking for Alex. He seems to have it set in his head that she's in the Citadel. I figured Alex wouldn't want him getting any deeper in trouble, but hell, you try stopping him. Hey, dog! Not there, you can't get through that way. Well, I'll be damned. I think he wants you to go through, Gordon. You'd better hurry. And if you see Dr. Breen, tell him I said...
Hello.
Citadel Steep Landing. The Citadel was built very late in development, and initially we had no clear vision for its gameplay. This isn't uncommon. While game design usually drives our process, big creative choices we make early on, such as the existence of the Combine Citadel, need specific design work done to fit into the final product. After the previous chapter's climactic battle, we thought a different tone for the finale here in the Citadel would feel more rewarding. Even if we wanted to raise the stakes, creating new mechanics and NPCs was too risky this late. Our first plan was to make it a passive narrative spectacle, a train ride through the heart of the Combine war machine, ending in Breen's office. But after we developed that plan, we spent a few days prototyping super gravity gun mechanics, thinking that at the game's end, we could fulfill players' wishes by making them all-powerful, without disrupting the game design's overall balance. The results were immediately promising, leading to a quick redesign to incorporate the super gravity gun. Rather than traditional end-game challenges, we wanted the player to feel godlike, grabbing enemies at will, ripping consoles off walls. In the end, the Citadel blends these two concepts, alternating between spectacle and unleashed power.
Citadel entrance. We built the route into the Citadel backwards. The interior geometry was created as an art prototype to perfect the look. We knew you were coming from the sewer pipe in our Street War map and had to create a section of slides and jumps into the Citadel entrance to connect them.
Lightmap Pass. The Citadel interior is relatively simple geometrically, but the Combine metal material and the dramatic lighting help sell the immensity of the structure. Lightmap resolution was increased on important, interesting surfaces and reduced on ones that were fully shadowed or distant. Also, due to the large size of the Citadel spaces, unnecessarily large lightmap surfaces had a significant performance cost. Near the end of the development, there was a large pass done throughout the Citadel levels to optimize these values for visual interest and performance. This was made easier by a new feature added to the Hammer level editor that would display surfaces with their Luxel density.
Density क्या उतर सकते
Lightmap Pass. The Citadel interior is relatively simple.
एंड में बैठना ही नहीं होता है इसमें वॉचेस वाले बैठना चार का गेम यार अभी भी टायर्ड लगता है लेवल एंडिंग आने वाली है यार नाम चेंज सिर्फ इसके लिए नाम चेंज किया वो ऐसे ही नाम है और लेवल लोड आएगा पीछे
Weapon strip. Once we introduced the supergravity gun, we really didn't want players returning to their conventional weapons, so we did the only rational thing. We disintegrated them. It helps to have an inscrutable supernatural enemy like the Combine as the antagonist of your game, because it stands to reason that they could simply just have a disintegrator. Why not? And if, for some reason, we had needed you to have your loadout back in the middle of the level, wouldn't you know it, they also have a reintegrator.
So, this is Dr. Surprise, no.
Super Gravity Origins. By this point in development, we were confident in the design of the gravity gun. We wanted to give the player a taste of feeling omnipotent, and set to work on making a supercharged version. It didn't take long, truly maybe a day of prototyping, before we had something that we liked and it became the core of the gameplay of the Citadel. With our physics engine complete, we were free to find new and exciting ways to push it past its previous limits and yield whatever fun results came with it. Our prototype object, an ultra-heavy watermelon that weighed hundreds of pounds in our physics sim, ultimately became the Combine balls you experience in the game.
Dissolved weapons. All the Combine's weapons were set to dissolve after the Combine soldier was ragdolled with a gravity gun for 2 reasons. 1, so players wouldn't pick them up and use them, but also to improve the performance in these maps. Additionally, a ragdoll manager was added that would remove the fallen soldier ragdoll corpses as the player progresses forward.
Clapping on it.
Combine ball and balls training. In playtests, players were not noticing that the Combine spheres dissolved the soldiers and why they were disappearing. We initially tried to solve this by making the spheres prefer to bounce towards enemies to increase the likelihood of dissolving kills. We eventually realized that the reason players didn't notice the effect was because it always happened during intense combat, and people have a very limited ability to learn new things when under stress. As a late effort remedy, we inserted a low-pressure training room with a force feed that can only be opened by grabbing the Combine ball. This setup was added specifically to train how Combine balls work to deactivate force fields, and that punting it at the soldier would dissolve them. Even then, in the playtests, it was only moderately successful. Despite our efforts, some of the players still struggled to perceive the dissolving effects of the projectiles. We ran out of time and decided that since players were still telling us they were feeling powerful, it was okay if not all of them perceived why they were succeeding.
Combine energy. What started life as a watermelon in prototype form ended up turning into an energy ball after the sounds made. Hey. Combine energy. What started life as a watermelon in prototype form ended up turning into an energy ball after the sounds made for its impact and explosion sounded less like produce and more like what we have here in the game. Once we started iterating on levels that weren't watermelon based, we realized we could use the energy ball not just as a fun way to kill soldiers, but also as a puzzle element for powering up and down various equipment. At a significantly later point in development, we were not liking the AR2 alt-fire we had at the time, and since the team liked the Combine ball, we ended up incorporating it right into the AR2 alt-fire.
Green monologue. Creative work is never done in a vacuum, as we're all inspired by other things. Green's monologue, that appears on the Citadel monitors here, got some inspiration from an earlier game we all love, Thief 2, in which the antagonist taunts the player while they're sneaking around. The execution is quite different, but the core inspiration is there. The real heavy lifting, however, what really sells this moment, comes from the performance by the late Robert Culp. His delivery was pitch perfect. He interpreted each of Green's lines with a subtlety and flair that transformed the character on the page into something truly special. The voice session with Robert Culp was as easy as they come. He'd have the script, and the engineer would hit record, and that was about it. The lesson reinforced here is to work with people whose talent exceeds yours, people you're certain to learn from. Don't go in with a fixed idea of how the line should be delivered, or how a certain moment should play out, but instead, collaborate with talented people and go into it trusting they'll make it even better.
elevator fight. Even though we wanted the player to feel all-powerful, we couldn't resist the temptation of adding a tough fight at the elevator shaft. The battle waiting for the arrival of the elevator here ended up being somewhat more difficult than originally envisioned for this part of the game. It became easier during playtesting, but there really wasn't enough playtesting time to balance it to the level it should have been. Though the player was never in that much danger, it is the number of soldiers that appear that makes it feel like more of a climactic battle than it is.
मैं तो गया भाई
Replacing the prefabs. The Combine energy balls are a relatively simple setup, with a force field holding the perpetually bouncing objects. However, during playtesting, there were repeated bugs with the energy balls bouncing around, going rogue, and escaping the force field we set up to contain them. Due to the limits of our prefab tech at the time, this required them to be manually rebuilt multiple times at every one of their locations in all of the Citadel levels that included them.
Uploading navigation.
Strider fight. One of the original Citadel prototypes included being able to grab the Strider with a super gravity gun. And for a long time, the fight with the Strider was about getting close enough to grab him with the gun. Toward the end of development, we decided that grabbing the Strider made him feel too weak, especially after all the combat against them during Street War. So we replaced the encounter with one where you kill him with Combine balls. Model pieces were added so the Strider could be
Getting in the pod. The pod ascension sequence that starts here necessitated taking full control of the scene and the player view. This is contrary to our usual desire to have the player retain as much control as possible. For this final step, we felt the trade-off was worth it. The player is so powerful at this point that controlling them was difficult, so we had to disable them. We do still have all the characters in the scene talking to the player, keeping them the center of attention. We also were able to provide some narration through the environment along the way. The train ride through the Citadel starting here contains several adversaries that we had art content for but were cut from the main part of the game. From the safety of your cozy pod, you can see the processing of stalkers and a quick glimpse of the crab synth.
Ready?
एक और स्टॉप
I'll take him from here. Don't struggle. It's no use. Until you're where he wants you, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry, Gordon.
Satellites colonized by sentient gas giants, inhabited by vast meteorological intelligences, worlds stretched thin across the membranes where the dimensions intersect. Impossible to describe with our limited vocabulary.
What I've seen is also beyond words, Breen. Genocide. Indescribable evil. Good God.
Well, if it isn't Gordon Freeman at last. What's this? I'll put it over there. You have my gratitude, Doctor. First you lead me straight to the doorstep of my oldest friend, and then you deliver yourself? If I'd known you were going to come straight up to my office, I wouldn't have bothered hunting you in the first place. Having both of you in my keeping ensures I can dictate the terms of any bargain I care to make with a Combine.
Dr. Breen. Wallace.
Yes, Judith, what is it?
The bargain we should be making is for Eli's life so he can continue his research.
Thanks to you, we have everything we need in that regard. You're more than qualified to finish his research yourself. What neither you nor I can do is convince that rabble in the streets to give up their senseless struggle. Yet Eli refuses to speak the words that would save them all.
Save them? For what?
Eli, if you won't do the right thing for the good of all people, maybe you'll do it for one of them.
Alex, honey.
Dad. Gordon?
God damn you, Breen, you let her go.
That's all up to you, my old friend. Will you let your stubborn short-sightedness doom the entire species, or will you give your child the chance her mother never had?
How dare you even mention her?
Alex, my dear, you have your mother's eyes, but your father's stubborn nature.
You haven't seen a bit of it yet.
Really? Well, let's see how well it serves you on the far side of a Combine portal.
Go ahead, Breen. If that's the worst you can do, send us both through your portal.
Oh, it's hardly the worst. But you might find that hard to believe once you get there.
It isn't necessary.
I agree. It's a total waste. Fortunately, the Resistance has shown it is willing to accept a new leader. And this one has proven to be a fine pawn for those who control him.
No!
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
How about it, Dr. Freeman? Did you realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Gordon would never make any kind of deal with you.
I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in front of your friends. I'll send them on their way, and then we can talk openly.
Don't struggle, honey.
Dad, I'm so sorry.
Alex, sweetheart.
Judith, what do you think you're doing?
We're doing what I could never do alone. We're stopping you. Yes.
Guards, get in here! They know you betrayed them. They'll turn on you. Judith, Dr. Mossman, please!
I'm sorry, Wallace. You're all out of time. Don't... Hurry! Dad, hang on!
You fool!
Watch out, he's gonna...
No!
Final scene. Locking the player in a pod for the final confrontation in Breen's office was a bit of a compromise, but it allowed for a focus on the characters that we really couldn't provide elsewhere. All of the characters' arcs reached their conclusions in this scene, and constraining the player to this point of view creates the opportunity for a real emotional payoff, a climactic scene powered by the combination of dialogue, voice performances, and animations. The scene was a challenge to pull off from a production standpoint, setting up the right blocking and motion, getting effective timing and emotional synergy and connection from all of the individual animations and vocal performances that were recorded separately. It took a lot of tuning before it reached some dramatic synergy and really felt like all of the characters were actually connecting.
Come on.
मेरे फॉग बड़ी अच्छी बनाई थी.
Gordon, we haven't known each other very long, but I know you didn't have to do this. I had to rescue my father, but you... Well, thanks for coming after me.
It's me you should be concerned.
Hey, listen.
I can still deliver.
That's him.
But not without your help. The portal destination is untenable. Surely you can set the relay elsewhere. There's no way I can survive in that environment. A host body? You must be joking. I can't possibly.
There he is.
Oh, all right. Damn it, if that's what it takes. Just hurry. He's right behind me. Oh, shit.
Damn it, not again! A gravity gun. He doesn't have a clue, does he? I wonder where he's going. Oh my god. This is the
Citizen's
dark fusion reactor. It powers their tunneling entanglement device. We'll never have a chance like this again. We've got to stop Dr. Breen.
Cool.
I can't shut it down. Looks like he's turned over control to the other side. You'll have to go into the core and do what you can. Get in the elevator and I'll let you in. Don't forget to charge up your suit. Do your worst, Gordon. But be careful.
Endgame Scramble. There was originally a significantly larger choreography scene slated for the end of the game. However, the choreo team was very busy with the huge amount of storytelling work remaining throughout the game. To take some of the work off their plate, the Citadel Gameplay Cabal was asked to instead create a gameplay challenge to wrap up the game. It could be a puzzle, combat, anything. The resulting Breen boss battle leveraged existing super gravity gun game mechanics and a small amount of custom choreography to create a finished product in a very short amount of time. Endgame Scramble. There was originally a significantly larger choreography scene slated for the end of the game. However, the choreo team was very busy with the huge amount of storytelling work remaining throughout the game. To take some of the work off their plate, the Citadel Gameplay Cabal was asked to instead create a gameplay challenge to wrap up the game. It could be a puzzle, combat, anything. The resulting Breen boss battle leveraged existing super gravity gun game mechanics and a small amount of custom choreography to create a
It is possible to be destroyed, and even in some which are essentially impossible.
What the hell? Oh no, Combine soldiers. Where did they come from?
Endgame Scramble. There was originally a significantly larger choreography scene slated for the end of the game. However, the choreo team was very busy with the huge amount of storytelling work remaining throughout the game. To take some of the work off their plate, the Citadel Gameplay Cabal was asked to instead create a gameplay challenge to wrap up the game. It could be a puzzle, combat, anything. The resulting Breen boss battle leveraged existing super gravity gun game mechanics and a small amount of custom choreography to create a finished product in a very short amount of time.
I warned you this was futile.
Don't listen to him.
Get out to my grenade mid-air.
Great. Oh no, Breen started his ascent. Hurry, Gordon, before he escapes. Keep going.
I could have told you that was pointless, Dr. Freeman.
Go, Gordon.
Are you still with us, Dr. Freeman? Not for much longer, I think. If only you had harnessed your boundless energy for a useful purpose.
Combine portal effects. A key part of our development process is the way that any team member can contribute their skills to any part of the game. Once the final battle gameplay was solid, artists and visual effects programmers helped elevate the presentation of the portal to the Combine homeworld and the stop time effect at the very end of the game. A refractive shader similar to what we use for water was used for the Combine portal effect.
Go back, Freeman. You have no idea what you're doing. You're still with us, Dr. Freeman. Not for much longer, I think. If only you had harnessed your boundless energy for a useless purpose. Go back, Freeman. You have no idea what you're doing. You're still with us, Dr. Freeman. Not for much longer, I think. If only you had harnessed your boundless energy for a useless purpose. Go back, Freeman. You have no idea what you're doing. I hope you said your farewells. Unleash! You could bring down this whole Citadel. Think, man! Think of the people below!
Combine portal effects. A key part of our development process is the way that any team member can contribute their skills to any part of the game. Once the final battle gameplay was solid, artists and visual effects programmers helped elevate the presentation of the portal to the Combine homeworld and the stop time effect at the very end of the game. A refractive shader similar to what we use for water was used for the Combine portal effect.
Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived. You've done a great deal in a small time span. You've done so well, in fact, that I've received some interesting offers for your services. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate them, but these are extraordinary times. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you, if and when your time comes round again. I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... well, I'm really not at liberty to say. In the meantime, this is where I get off.
एंड हो गया एपिसोड 1 में बाद में करूँगा ना चैन से मुझे कॉपीराइट लगा है यहाँ पे just डिस्कॉर्ड खुल गया नाइस अच्छा भाई मैं बाद में करूँ मैं कल खेलूँ बाय बाय पीस आउट थ्री